Hey Harvesters! Our Team Harvest Huddle with Bishop Johnson last weekend on Zoom was great. We were encouraged to be vision casters and not vision trashers. We were also reminded of our responsibility to carry out the vision of our church of a world where no one lives or dies without Christ. We were encouraged to reflect on the following questions. Why does God have you at Harvest? What role are you called to play in the church? How does God want to work through you to build His church? What will it take to play that role well? What does God's work lose if you or someone else does not play that role well? These are the questions that we will be revisiting throughout the year. It was an interactive time, and we were also asked to share what we love about Harvest. Some of the responses included the Word, leaders with integrity, caring people, the vision of the church, and opportunities to grow spiritually. It was a powerful time of connecting, reflecting, and resetting. If you were not able to join these meetings, we highly encourage you to watch the recordings that were sent to you in the emails that were sent this weekend. You may also access them via our website at harvestersonly.org/resources. Every year, we celebrate the life-changing achievements of African Americans in the U.S. and in the world. This year, Asher 3 Care Group will be hosting a celebration to do just that. It will be held on Friday, February 25th at 7:30 p.m. We will use this time to celebrate the brave men, women, and children who paved the way for us to thrive in the land of the free and the home of the brave. As the word states, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing. Endurance has its full effects, so let's celebrate the God-given endurance that has and continues to produce such greatness. Happy Black History Month, Harvesters!
I'm Pastor Peabody, and today I have a testimony about, my brother. Recently, I think it was early January or so, there was a snowstorm, and if everybody remembered, on the highway somewhere in Virginia, oh man, people were there, cars stuck, people just stuck on the highway. My brother was driving from, I believe it was Philadelphia, to Stafford, Virginia. And he was following his GPS, and he said that normally he will follow the GPS from wherever he's coming from until he gets to a familiar place, and then he will stop following the GPS and take the route that he normally will use. But somehow, the GPS began to take him on a very unfamiliar route. And for some reason, he just decided to follow it. He said it was a strange thing, and he said to follow it. And he began to follow it instead of breaking out and going on the normal routes. He just followed this place. And 2 times he second-guessed himself, stopped to make sure he was on the right road. And to make things worse, his wife was like, "Hey, why are you trying to figure out a new route home? It's cold. Let's try to just take what we know." He kept his cool and just followed his guts and the GPS. And it was when they reached home that his daughters informed him that there was no electricity at home and that there was a terrible traffic on the highway. And if he had not followed his guts, they would have been in traffic for 24 hours.
For a snowstorm that dumped whiteout conditions, thousands of drivers are seeing red. Multiple crashes along Interstate 95 shutting down the major corridor.
I'm headed to Georgia.
I live in South Carolina. I was going back to work.
We're on our way to Florida.
Crippling a transportation system to a complete standstill. Drivers were forced to wait.
I just been sitting here since 7:15 last night.
A day, 24 hours. Still haven't moved.
We've been stuck for 19 hours on 95.
Mark Baharian and his wife question if anything more could have been done to prevent the backlog. In the cold, they slept in their car overnight.
They will have run out of gas. They have been in the cold without food, water, and restroom. Going home was an old thing. If you can remember something that Bishop said in the beginning of the year, that God is doing a new thing. It was a familiar thing, but God chose to do a new thing, taking an unfamiliar route to get him home. This year, in 2022, let's follow the Spirit's leading. It might be, a new way, but just hang tight, just like my brother did. Despite his wife, despite the unfamiliar surroundings, but God was taking him to a familiar place, home. Pastor Peabody, thank you.